It's been too long. I'm so sorry, but welcome back to another Playing With Me video. This video is based on the planning we're going to do for Bertha Russell from the Gilded Age. If you are new here, I do these videos before I release the final tutorial, how I make it, how I did it, cosplay videos. Just because I really like to do this. It's kind of fun to track all of my cosplays with a workbook, and it kind of does help me set up what I really need for the costume, understand the aesthetics, give myself time to sit down and figure out what I want to do. I'm also just a huge fan of bullet journaling and sketchbook and junk journaling and all of this, so I have washi tapes. I have this little printer that I get to print off things for my journaling and everything, and I just like to transition that into cosplay as much as I can, and I do this with our Playing With Me videos and my sketchbooks. So I basically, every time I do these videos, I start out kind of mapping it out what I want to talk about in the sketchbook itself, and it's mostly just, like I said earlier, a spot for me to figure out fabric yardage, what kind of patterns I want to do in a nice, pretty, artistic way. You know, for the aesthetic. It's for the aesthetic. Okay, so why am I choosing Bertha Russell? Why not? Have you guys ever seen the Gilded Age? There's one thing very clear about me and the cosplays that I choose. I love a strong woman who is dressed extremely well and says what she means and does what she wants, and that is Bertha Russell. For those unfamiliar with the Gilded Age, it is basically Downton Abbey set in the Gilded Age New York, which is around 1880s, 1870s, 1890s, that era. So like Industrial Revolution, think of that. And so Bertha Russell is part of the new money. So she's bringing in all of the new, all of the stuff that people who are more traditional old money are kind of afraid to look into or to be a part of, like, especially when it comes to fashion and architecture and interior design. I mean, Bertha's house is, Versailles, plopped in the middle of New York. I mean, when I started watching this show, I knew I was going to cosplay Bertha, but I didn't know what costume that I wanted to do. She's got so many, multiple per episodes. And when it came to season 2, I was really into the show, and I was like, oh, I'm going to pick something from season 2. I've seen the trailers. They all look incredible. It's my time. I've never done a Victorian bustle gown before. And then I kind of watched season 2, and nothing really shouted out to me as much as this dress did. And season 1, this is what I like to call it, her peacock dress, because literally it's what she's doing during this time. In the episode, her and her family is going to this bazaar that they kind of were, pushed off of hosting, and it's kind of like an old money versus new money thing. I think this is episode 2 of season 1, and it's one of the first big Russell's movement into society is this episode, and just this color and the way the dress moves, and I really liked the embroidery, and honestly it didn't really beat any other dresses that I had in mind from season 2. I was too obsessed. And I think also coming after making Rhaenyra and being so much into the black and red and the dark and the heavy aesthetics, I wanted something with some freaking color, and boy did I make something with freaking color. Holy cow. This dress ended up being so much blue and green and tones of peacocks that I was just like, I don't know if I'm ever going to do this again. This color. I might need to go backwards now, which is false, because as I'm recording this, I am making Bella Baxter from the Poor Things movie, and I'm basically making a dress that's a giant yellow mustard bottle. So I may say I didn't want color, but I'm still doing it. Also, these Playing With Me videos are a chance for me to kind of catch back up with my audience and tell everybody, kind of in a podcast style chat while you're watching me draw fun things in my sketchbook, my status in cosplay making and what I'm doing in my life at the time. I remember I've gone back kind of just my other Playing With Me videos to see what I've said, and it almost seems like the past 4 videos that I've made, I've said that I'm so burnt out, but no, I don't feel burnt out now. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'm just more balancing my costume making with personal life things, that has just gotten better, but lately, I was pretty burnt out after Rhaenyra. I think it was just such a big build because it was a competition piece and I had a lot of effort and time, and that was a full year build from like start to finish with the dagger that I created. That I took a lot of time before I decided to really go heavy-handed Bertha. And then when I was making Bertha, I slowed down. And I just took my time. But one thing about this build that I did find really interesting was the dress itself. Once I got the patterns and everything down and the colors, and the fabric wasn't hard to find, like I didn't have to hunt for it. It's pretty basic. Like it was kind of an easier make, just the dress. What really slowed me up was the embroidery. But I'll talk about that in my Bertha making video that will come out after this video. Right here, it's a chance for me to just catch up with you guys and talk about why I chose Bertha, who Bertha Russell is, where I'm going in other directions with cosplay as I'm putting together this little sketchbook. The older I am getting, I am finding that I am romanticizing and glamorizing my process of making cosplays more, and I think it's just because back in the day when I first started this in 2012, I was just so deep into making everything now and super fast and just on a level that was not suitable for my lifestyle today. And I think doing this, just slowing down and taking every step and treating every step as a part of the whole cosplay process is really exciting for me. I don't know what end of TikTok that I'm on that I'm finding romance in making weird sketchbook sketches of Bertha Russell and odd things to do with washi tape, but here I am, a 35-year-old cosplayer, still doing it, but also doing it in a way that I find exciting, because doing this for so long, you know, it does wear out. It can wear on you. Really, really can. So do as you'd like to do with your own cosplay process, but I highly recommend trying a little bit of this. If you journal, you'd be into it. If you're into sketchbook stuff, you're into it. If not, it's kind of fun. It's also a really great place, like I said earlier, to grab all of your thoughts and write them down before you dive into buying everything, and all of a sudden you've bought too much. Whoops, whoops, whoops. So sit back and enjoy some more of my cosplay plan with me, my sketchbook process, and I will pop in when I'm ready to, or when we've moved to the next section of my little sketchbook I need to chat about. If you are curious about some of the art supplies that I'm using in this video, I almost exclusively use these water pens for all of my watercolor needs. It's just 3 pens. I think I purchased them at Michael's not too long ago. You fill them with water, and then I have just a basic watercolor palette that I've put together over the next couple years. And then this is just a, I think it's a cold press sketchbook that's actually almost full. So we're about to move to a new sketchbook for my next Playing With Me video after this, which will be Bella Baxter. And yeah, I've just been doing this for years. I have a whole playlist on my YouTube channel of all the Playing With Me's that I've done. If you'd like to check others out, that includes, I did one for Clea and Doctor Strange. I did one for Rose from Titanic. I think I did one for Rhaenyra. I might have not. Rhaenyra was kind of a hype build, but also like now my biggest build known to me, I think, since possibly Doctor Strange because of TikTok and how viral she went. But yeah, I really truly enjoy making these. They are super fun, and also it's a great way to just add more content to your cosplay making. If you're a content creator like me, it's just a great little thing to have. Also, let's just chat about the Gilded Age. I love this show so much, and it's only 2 seasons on right now. It's on HBO/Max. Highly recommend if you are a huge fan of Downton Abbey, or as I call it, low-ish stakes drama. If you're comparing this show to House of the Dragon, almost every episode is a life or death situation. At least it feels. With Gilded Age, you know, the biggest fight is over an opera house and who gets to fund it and who gets to have it in their name. You know, that's the kind of stakes you have here. Yes, there are more stakes that they're putting in because it's happening during a time of history that is very changing and revolutionary, the Industrial Revolution. So you do have, you know, stakes that have to do with the Russells specifically, because her husband is a railroad guy. You know, he's kind of the Andrew Carnegie of the show. He, you know, developed a railroad and other successful businesses that made him, you know, dripping in cash, which makes Bertha dress so well, which is why I am here. So there are a lot of stakes, of course, into that. But honestly, Bertha Russell is just really wanting to make her foot into New York society, and she's doing it with cash. And so season 2, the whole over arc for her is to get the Metropolitan Opera open and have her be the person that really made it happen and make her way into New York society. And it's just so good. It is lower stake. It's kind of like, you know, potato chips, but also dressed really well. And there are higher stakes, obviously, in it, like I said before. But I just love her character, and she's just really fun. However, I do think this next season, I'm going to have a hard time liking her because they are based on the Vanderbilts. If you are familiar with any kind of history, you know some of the decisions that they're making are a little rough to comprehend in today's society, especially ones that deal with her daughter. But you know what? We're just going to be along with the ride because I'm obsessed with the show and I'm not stopping. And who knows, maybe I'll make another Bertha Russell gown. Good thing is I have all the undergarments still, so there's a plus there. So my deadline for Bertha Russell was April of 2024. As this video is going up post that, many of you have probably seen that I have finished with her. But I did premiere her at C2E2 this year to a raving success in my own opinion. I did have a lot of people kind of give me one of those like look up and downs of like, you look amazing, but what is this? What am I looking at? Because I mean, it's a full historical outfit just trampsing through the floor of a Comic-Con. You know, does that fit? Nah, who knows? Who cares? I had a great time, and I really love this costume, and it just really looks good, and I'm very happy with it. And all of the fabric and everything that I bought for it really did turn out great, even though I had a bit of a trouble with the embroidery, trying to think of what I had to do for that. But if you would like to dive more into this build and get into how I did it, what I made, you know, how I completed it, everything, please check out this next video that will be going up after this one, which is the full making of Bertha Russell. It will be on my channel, and I will be taking you from start to finish. So much for jumping back into my channel and following this Plan With Me video for Bertha Russell. I have decided to turn this channel more into an archival space, and so I will be creating all of these videos and posting them most likely after I've done my build. So you can follow my social media if you would like in real time build process. But as for now, here is the Plan With Me video for Bertha, and I will see you all in the next video.